Adam here from the Walter Automotive Group, and what we want to do today is again compare a couple of third row SUVs. So next to me here is the Buick Enclave in the Essence trim, and I also have a Chevrolet Traverse, and that's going to be the Premier trim. So what I'm going to do is show you around some interior features, some of the cool stuff outside, and we'll see which vehicle might be right for you. Okay, so like I mentioned, this is the Buick Enclave in the Essence trim, so this is going to be a little bit higher up the food chain as far as the Enclaves are concerned. You're going to have a 3.6 liter, which is going to be paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, so if you're towing a boat to the cabin, or maybe you're just hauling a utility trailer around, this can still be a utility vehicle. Now from there, as far as the exterior is concerned, I like the chrome accents that come around. You'll see some of the trim and some of the wheels, so there's a lot of different options and features when you're looking at the Enclave, and there is going to be a lot of similarities between this and the Traverse. Obviously, it's going to have the third row. Both are going to have the captain's chairs in the models we have here, and most of the good stuff is going to be on the inside. But before we hop into the second row of this one, let's jump over to the Chevy Traverse and we'll check out that exterior. So now over to the competition. This obviously is the Chevy Traverse, which is going to be a great vehicle that seats very nicely into the Chevy lineup. Now the Traverse has been a nameplate that's been around for a long time, and it's because of its good looks, its reliability, and overall general use of this vehicle is going to be what you're after, right? It's going to have the third row, it's going to have a comfortable second row, it's going to have plenty of cargo space as well, and on the open road, after driving the Traverse around a little bit today, I get why it's been around for so long. It's easy to drive, it's convenient to park, it's not massive like a Suburban or anything else like that. It just seems to work in what it is. But let's hop inside, we'll take a closer look at a few things. Okay, so now we're in the second row of the Chevy Traverse. One of the first things you notice, this is the bucket seats. There is a bench option, but I like the captain's chairs here in the back. It's got the little armrest here, which is nice. This one also has that tri-zone climate control, so your rear passengers do have the ability to change to their liking back here. There's also going to be heated seats, which is great for the winter time, and you've got a couple of USB plugs and a standard 120 volt outlet. Now the third row is pretty spacious in this one. It does have the 60-40 split, so if you're hauling stuff, if you're not bringing a lot of people around, you can fold each side down individually or both of them. These seats do fold down as well, so you do get a ton of hauling space if you need a little bit larger object. So another cool thing back here, this one does have the dual pane sunroof, so you've got your own little cover that you can slide back and forth, and you still keep your standard sunroof up in the front. But before we hop into the driver's seat of this one, let's hop back over to the Enclave and we'll check out that interior. Okay, so now that we're in the second row of the Enclave, the first thing I kind of noticed when comparing this with the Traverse, this is definitely a little more luxurious. You can tell from some of the leather materials, some of the stitching, everything seems a little bit more upscale, but again, that does come with a price tag. But from there, we are gonna have the tri-zone, so you're gonna have your own climate control back here. You've got a 120 volt plug, so it's kind of like your standard household plug-in, and then 2 USBs. So you are gonna be comfortable back here. There also is a heated seat option, and there can be a bench seat as well. So this one is going to give you the 2 captain's chairs, and then the third row, you are going to have 3 passengers back there. So this one is going to be the 7-passenger vehicle, but if you need another one, again, there is a bench that kind of helps you out. I like the dual sunroofs. It's the same in the Traverse. It's pretty cool. This one is going to be a power sunshade, where the Traverse is just a manual one. But this seat is about all the way back, and this seat is forward, so it is on slides. So what I can do is I can slide this back if I need a little bit more room and I want to squish the third row. But if they need a little more room, if it's just kids in the back or anything else, you can pick a spot, and then you can be comfortable for your third row and your second row passengers. Now beyond that, we're gonna hop over to the Traverse and check out that interior. Okay, so now the driver's seat of the Chevy Traverse. So like I mentioned, I did spend some time in this vehicle, and it's got a great ride and drive to it. It feels like you've got plenty of power. It does have a small towing capacity, so if you're hauling a small fishing boat, maybe a couple jet skis, or just that utility trailer, this will definitely get it done. One of the other cool things, what do we always have with us? Our cell phones, right? So this one has a very convenient wireless charging area. Drop your phone on, it's gonna be charged up, or you've got a couple of USBs if you don't have a wireless charging capable phone. You're gonna have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. This one's got a great backup camera. It's also got this cool little storage cubby in here. So if I click this button, the entire screen slides up and you can store stuff away in there. Kind of a goofy thing, but if you want stuff out of sight, probably something people aren't gonna figure out, throw a wallet in there, pretty cool. This one does have heated as well as the ventilated seats. It's hot today, obviously the sun is out. If ventilated seats isn't something you've used before, you have to try it. It is a game changer. Plus, you're also gonna have the heated steering wheel, like I mentioned, heated seats. So in the wintertime, you are gonna be super comfortable. This has the remote start as well, fire up and go. So comparing this to the Buick Enclave, again, there is going to be a lot of similarities between the two. We saw in that interior, it's going to be a little bit more upscale, a little bit nicer. Again, the price tag does go up a little bit more as well with that. But if you're looking for more of a luxury, maybe this one seems more to be like a family vehicle, or that one if you're occasionally bringing some couples out to dinner, or if you just want a little bit more of those niceties, the Buick might be a better option there. The Traverse kind of feels like a workhorse to me. It's going to get stuff done. So whatever you're doing, whether it's baseball practice, hauling the kids around, going to the cabin, if you're going to that busy Costco, this is going to be a great size that's going to give you the third row capability with a ton of room inside and a lot of creature comforts. Okay, now that we looked at the Traverse on the inside, let's jump back over to the Buick and we'll check out that one. Okay, so now that we're in the driver's seat of the Enclave here, what do we have on us? Our phones at all times, right? So we have wireless charging in this model. There's also 2 USB plugs here so you can keep all your devices charged up when you're on the go. Now I like the drive-by-wire that's in this one. So there's no big shift column, it's not up here. It's a simple press of a button for drive, reverse. It simplifies, it gives you nice space for the cup holders here as well. And it also frees up a big space underneath. So if you've got a purse or some extra stuff you need to throw down here and you do have another plug down there, it's really nice and it's very convenient. Now you also have all-wheel drive. This vehicle is going to have auto start-stop, and both this and the Traverse are going to have a ton of safety features, whether that's blind spot monitoring, lane departure warning, adaptive cruise control. There's going to be a bunch of really cool stuff in here to make sure you're safe and paying attention when you're on the road. Now beyond that, this one with the infotainment screen, you are going to have wireless Apple CarPlay as well as Android Auto. It's going to have a backup camera that I think I preferred a little bit more in the Traverse, which we'll check out, as that had the 360 camera, but you can option that as you go up a little bit more on the Enclaves. Now the steering wheel, one of the goofiest things to me that they put on all new cars is paddle shifters. I don't know who's using them. I've never used them in an SUV. It seems like more of a sports car thing, but if you want the option to shift through that 8-speed automatic transmission, you certainly can. From there, the cluster is a little small for me. As far as some of the new vehicles are concerned with the cool big digital displays and the larger screens, this center driver display is a little bit smaller than I'd maybe like in comparing to some of the other models, but it works, right? You've got everything you need to see is right there. It's going to give you your nav, your music, everything else you can go through and control and change. It's easy, it's simplified, it's just not up to date with some of the other SUVs out there. What do I have to say between the two of them? The Buick feels a little bit more upscale and luxury, which you'd probably expect. But both are going to do the same thing. They're going to have that third row. They both have the captain's chairs the way these are configured, dual sunroof, Apple CarPlay. It's got all the equipment you might be looking for, whether it's the heated seats for the winter, the ventilated seats in the Traverse. I mean, there's so much good stuff in here that it's really hard to go wrong. It comes down to style, right? Which one maybe looks better to you? The Traverse is a little sportier. This seems more like a luxury vehicle. So I think you got to get out, drive them, see what you think. Get the family in, throw them in the back. Maybe there's a little bit more room in this vehicle, in the second row it felt like, but it's so close that without jumping in and driving one, you wouldn't know for yourself. So now that we looked at both vehicles, the Enclave and the Traverse, it really breaks down to style, maybe what you're looking for. You got to get out and drive them both. Now, if you want more information, you can visit us online at walzer.com. Stop by any one of our dealerships and we'd be happy to help you out. Thanks for watching.